We're now going to look at the set pose offset. If I do something like this, climb down preset, we go into the time properties and just, maybe I'll just scale it down by say a third, maybe a little bit more, something like that's fine. And so there is the climb down. Now instead of using offset map, what we can also use is the set pose offset, and simply by selecting the clip I can right click on here and then go set pose offset. What that's going to do inside the clip properties is look at these items, the exfo items. Here the upper body, the left shoulder and right shoulder, and the head. So these have independent hierarchies which can be affected, but they in turn affect everything below it. So like the upper body will affect things like the legs, and the right shoulders are going to affect things like the hands. Inside here what it's done is actually put an offset inside the static kine state, which we can still adjust. So if we go into the clip like so, is way up here, is we can still make adjustments, in this case like a rotation. So a couple of things. The first is that we're getting a weird effect here. His head's freaking out over there, and as before, if we were to remove this effect, we need to identify what's wrong. So the first is, yep, we've got a freaky first frame again. So I'm going to make sure that here with that selected clip, I'm going to trim before. There we go. And now set the pose offset again. There we go. So from here, what I really should do is, did it wrong, I should go back to my frame where I want it to be offset from. So I'm going to remove the effect and do it again. So set pose offset. So now it understands where it is and where it should be. Inside the clip item information, it's important to understand what the exfos are doing, because here the head is freaking out because it's receiving some odd data. So what we can do is simply just say, okay, well, turn that off. There we go. Don't interpret the data like so. So the other thing we want to do is then put a blend in between these. So sometimes if we were to do a mix over, now his feet are slipping a bit, we can just do it afterwards. There we go. That's pretty good. So we've got an offset map, and then he's just going into his climb down, and off he goes like so.